Mike, my friend, let's talk about sleep. You had this grand plan to pull an all-nighter, thinking it would magically reset your sleep schedule. It's a tempting idea, like a crash diet promising quick results. But let me hit you with a reality check: temporary fixes rarely solve the root problem. Think of it like this: pulling an all-nighter is like slapping a band-aid on a wound without cleaning it first. Sure, it might stop the bleeding temporarily, but the infection is still there. You need to address the underlying issues if you want a real, lasting solution. Now, let's dive into the world of circadian rhythms and hormones. Your body operates on an internal 24-hour clock, known as the circadian rhythm. It's like your body's daily schedule, telling it when to release hormones like melatonin and cortisol. Melatonin is the sleep hormone, making you feel sleepy at night, while cortisol is the wake-up call in the morning. Guess what sets this internal clock? Sunlight. Yep, the big ball of fire in the sky is your body's primary signal for circadian rhythm. But it's not just sunlight. Other cues like meals, temperature changes, exercise, and social interaction can also play a role in resetting your internal clock. Now, let's dissect the mistakes in your sleep schedule adjustment strategy. Shifting your bedtime alone won't cut it. You need to revamp your entire daily routine. Artificial light, especially the blue light emitted by screens, messes with your circadian rhythms. So, no more late-night Netflix binges or scrolling through social media before bed. And here's a fun fact for you: adenosine. It's a chemical that builds up in your brain throughout the day, making you feel increasingly sleepy. Caffeine, that glorious elixir of wakefulness, blocks adenosine receptors, temporarily masking your sleepiness. But beware, my friend, because relying on caffeine to combat your lack of sleep can lead to chronic tiredness and a vicious cycle of caffeine dependency. Now, let's talk about caffeine timing. If you want to catch those Z's peacefully, steer clear of caffeine at least 8 hours before bedtime. You need to allow for proper sleep pressure to build up, and caffeine lingering in your system can result in a caffeine crash, leaving you with sudden fatigue that hits you like a freight train. So, here's the rundown on sleep hygiene tips. First and foremost, ditch the idea of all-nighters. They're like trying to fix a leaky boat with duct tape. It might hold for a bit, but you're still sinking. Instead, focus on shifting your entire daily routine. Morning sunlight exposure is your best friend. It sets the tone for the day, telling your body, hey, it's time to be awake and alert. On the flip side, minimize artificial light at night, especially screen time. That blue light is like a siren song for your circadian rhythm, luring it into chaos. And of course, let's talk caffeine. Manage your intake wisely. Say no to that cup of joe at least 8 hours before bedtime, and watch out for the caffeine crash. It's like hitting a wall of exhaustion when you least expect it. In conclusion, my sleep-deprived compadre, it's time to rethink your approach to resetting your sleep schedule. No more quick fixes or band-aid solutions. Focus on the fundamentals: your circadian rhythm, hormones, and the chemicals in your brain that dictate your sleepiness. It's not about just adjusting bedtime, it's about crafting a daily routine that aligns with your body's natural clock. Embrace the sunlight in the morning, avoid artificial light at night, and be mindful of your caffeine intake. Sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So, let's bid farewell to those sleepless nights and welcome a new era of restful slumber. Your body and mind will thank you for it. Sweet dreams, my friend. Please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with friends to support our channel.